One day, God slipped me a divine invitation to a candlelight dinner for two. He drew a beautiful inscription that made me feel less persuaded and more pursued. Come out from the multitude, he wrote, I want to dine with you in solitude. Immediately I was in pursuit, leaving the audience of eyes I was in service to. I had always been a victim of public servitude. Needing people to see me, recognition was my being, attention gave me meaning. If ever I went somewhere alone, I left a little bird behind, singing of me tweeting. But now, I was retreating, away from the eyes of others into a night alone with my Father. I followed that divine invitation farther and farther until I could no longer walk, and that's where I found the table. At the line where the wilderness begins and civilization stops, there was God, dressed in stillness, robed in rest. The table was set with utensils of quietness. We began by feasting on my insecurities. The appetizer appeased my appetite for approval's applause. No longer did I hunger for others' healing, attention, gauze, for I had been wedded with undivided obsession from my God. I started to forget the multitude as I dined with him in solitude. Then the entree made its way to my plate, and as it took shape, I started to shake, for I saw on the tray a clock that was sure to take what was surely mine, for I realized we would be eating time. But as I digested the time-tested clock, I stopped constantly checking my watch and watched only his eyes on mine. The longer I spent away from the multitude, the more time was consumed in solitude. Then, after the main course was finished and time was devoured, I had the urge to leave and tell everyone of my divine encounter, but he told me it was not yet time to depart from the desert, for he had prepared for me one final dessert. Now that I had learned to dine with God in a quiet place, the eyes of others to forsake, in his presence to make time wait, now I was ready for the softness of his voice, the icing of his words, and one sweet sentence of his cake. Finally, I had escaped the voices of the multitude, and God whispered softly to me in solitude. And that's where he's inviting you. God is slipping into your hand a divine invitation to a candlelight dinner for two. An invitation to hide from the eyes that surround you. Rid yourself of the lies that hound you. Break free from this thing called time that enshrouds you. And to be alone with the one who is all around you. Hear his voice, for you are being pursued. Come out from the multitude, he says. I want to dine with you in solitude.